Hi everyone in Algebra 2B. Today we're going to be going over your questions on lesson 101B. Also, there's a video posted on the new material on lesson 102, and in the comments of that video is where you're going to put your questions for lesson 102A. That's due tomorrow. So the first thing that we're going to do on number 16 is to solve this equation for y. So this would be 3y is greater than 2x minus 3. Then you're going to divide this whole thing by 3. And we'll get y is greater than 2/3 x minus 1. So now we can graph. This is going to cross the y-axis at -1, so here. And the slope is going to go rise 2 over 1, 2, 3. You could have also, from your point, go down 2 and then to the left 3. That would be another way to get that point. Now, there is no equal sign underneath, so this is going to be a dotted line here. And when it says y is greater than, that means you'll shade everything above it. Then x is greater than or equal to -2. Well, -2 on the x-axis is to the left 2. This will be a solid line because it has an equal sign under it. And now we're going to start shading. So for this one, the y is... Okay, so now we're going to start with the shading. So for this first one, where we have the dotted line, we're going to shade everything above it. So greater than means above. So that means I'm going to shade everything above this line. Like that. And then when it says y or x is greater than -2, everything greater than -2 would be everything to the right of it. And you know that if you stuck your line in your alligator's mouth, it points to the right. So I would shade everything to the right of that. And your answer would be everything that's covered by both. And that would be everything to the right of your solid line and then above your dotted line, and that would be your result there. Now for number 17, the first thing that we're going to do is we actually need to separate out this inequality. So the first one would be this left inequality. That would be 10 is not greater than or equal to x plus 2. And then the second one, which would be this part, which would be x plus 2 is less than -4. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is, because I see the slash through the inequality sign, I need to reverse it and take away the equal sign. So that means I would have 10 is less than x plus 2. Then to get x by itself, I would subtract the 2. And I'd have 8 is less than x. Now I want to always have the x on the left side. So I do need to completely mirror this. I'm not going to change anything else about it. Everything just flips. So the x goes to this side, this flips, 8 goes to the other side. And then for this one, I'm going to move the 2 to the other side. So I have x is less than -6. And we have real, so this is going to be a dot with a line. And I'm going to start by creating my diagram. So this would be -8, -7, -6, 5, -4. Okay, so this is my number line. It's very, very small though, because on -6, now we're going to have an open circle because it is not equal to -6. And on 8, we're going to have an open circle as well. Now from -6, it's pointing to the left of -6. That means we're going to shade this region over here. So it's everything to the left of -6. And then for x is greater than 8, that points to the right. So I would make that line darker to the right and then make my arrow. So it should look like that. Now moving on to number 22. So for number 22, what I need to do is I need to multiply top and bottom by the conjugate, which means I have to flip one of the signs. And that sign that I'm going to flip is going to be this negative sign. I'm going to make it positive 3. Now when I distribute it, 2i times I would be 2i squared. I times 3 would be 3i. 2i times 2i would be 4i squared. 2i times 3i would be 6i. Negative 3 times 2i would be negative 6i. And then negative 3 times positive 3 would be negative 9. Now my 6i's are going to cancel. My I squareds are going to change to negative 1. So that would be 2 times negative 1 minus 3, or plus 3i over 4 times negative 1 minus 9. So 2 times negative 1 would be negative 2 plus 3i. And then I have negative 4 plus negative 9 would be negative 13. But we don't want to leave that negative in the denominator, so I'm actually going to change all the signs in this, which would make this to minus 3i all over positive 13. So all I did was flip all of my negatives to positives and positives to negatives. The final problem that we're going to do is number 23, and that's going to require us to use our calculator, so make sure you have that calculator out. Now the first one is this line that's moving to the right of the origin. So it's going in the positive direction on the x-axis, which means that gives us positive 12.00r and then plus 0.00u, because it's not going up or down, it's just going to the right 12. For this next one, I'm going to draw a right triangle. This one's going to the left of the origin on the x-axis and then comes up off the x-axis, so that's positive u. And to find my x and y, I'm going to do x is equal to 8 times cosine of 70. And then for y, I'm going to do 8 times sine of 70. So in my calculator, it's going to be 8 times 70 cosine equals. That gives me 2.74. Then I'm going to do 8 times 70 sine equals, and that would be 7.52. Now again, I said that my x was negative, so that would be negative 2.74r. And then my u is positive, so it would be positive 7.52u. So we're going to subtract, it will be 12 minus 2.74, which would give me 9.26r, and then plus 7.52u. And that would conclude all my questions from Lesson 101 Part B. Don't forget to watch your 102 video as well as post your questions for 102A, and that will be due tomorrow. Hope you guys all have a great day. Bye.